ودي لي سلامي يا رايح للحرم وادعي لي وسلم لي.
Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to another podcast episode from the Muslim Interlude with your host Ismail. Today we have a special one actually. We have a brother from across the sea from America. We've got brother Shuaib Islaam. Jazakallah khair for joining us once again. BarakAllahu, so actually I saw something on your post which I was going to mention first actually of how I was going to introduce it. You said on one of your well actually I'll take a little bit about what you do to your fitness journey from what I've seen anyway. I don't know you personally, but you're more so into calisthenics and you've got a fitness page and now you've got merch which is called what is your merch? Rip Right?
Yeah, Rip Right. Yep.
Yeah,
so I have sweaters, hoodies, workout equipment.
I think it's sold out now from what I've last seen, but if anybody wants to go and check that out, go on Instagram page, Rip Right HD or Rip Right, and you can have a look on there. But you said something on your page which I found is quite profound. You said, "We see the glory without the story." Yeah. I think you said that in your last post, and I liked it. It was good. It was a good little saying, actually. I've not heard it before, but it was a good saying. So I wanted to get into that. So what is your story then? Let's hear the story. The glory.
So actually April 17th, it'll always, you would be seeing this video by the time that happens, but because Ramadan is around there, we will be 3 days in already by then. Okay, but around that time I'll be shooting a video. It's going to be like the pilot to my documentary. So my documentary is going to give a full history of the beginning until present time. So my stories are pretty simple but not simple. Young Black African American mothers and father is from the Caribbean islands, which is Jamaica, born in Miami, stayed there till I was like 3 or 4, moved to Brooklyn, Flatbush, stayed around Flatbush area, Canarsie growing up, ended up catching like one of my first cases, which was a stabbing around like when I was 15. Then after that, armed robbery, then assault, then attempt murder. I even was accused of sexual assault, locked up for that for over 2 years, beat the case, federal time, all the way up until now. I'm 36. I've never actually really been off of parole or not incarcerated from the age 15 to about now. So, my last couple of years in prison on this last bid, unfortunately, I did many bids. I got into the calisthenics and started a team called Rip Right. It was something that was actually created before me. It's been around. I just took it to a whole nother level. It was a prison thing, and I brought it on the outside. And basically, I accepted Islam around 2003. When I really first went to Rikers Island, which is a county jail in New York City, and the way I turned Muslim was just so funny, and we're gonna put that also in the documentary, because when people say that Allah makes Muslims, you hear that statement a lot. I truly believe in it, because when I entered Islam, it wasn't because I was interested in Islam. I read about the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I was intrigued. I was a religious person already and needed to find, a religion that was haq, that was truth. This was unsincere, just entering into Islam. And when you hear the story, it's gonna blow your mind. So coming out in 2018, we're gonna move all the way forward so I can get into the calisthenic journey. Once I started to really work out and create this team Rip Right, I shot a video, and the video was based up around, succeeding and people watching you succeed and wanting to succeed like you, or dislike that you succeed and think it's something that just happened. So I made the statement, people see the glory and don't know the story. They don't know your past. They don't know what you did, what you went through to get exactly where you at now. So some people think that the success and your 6-pack, or if you learn how to do a pull-up, some of it is fast for certain people, but most success stories aren't overnight. you know, and I just really believed deep down inside that I was going to be successful. I'm not where I want to be. But I'm thankful to Allah Ta'ala that I'm where I'm at now. And I think that I can even go further. And I believe that I'm going to make it to that place where I can really say the statement and then show the story and also give, you know, insight on the glory. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, no, subhanallah, alhamdulillah. It's funny, at the beginning you mentioned you've got a story, but it's not really a story. Then you went on to mention 6 things, which made it sound like a movie. So I think, never mind a documentary, I think you need a film to project all
Yeah.
that. But I won't ask you too much about that then, because what I'll tell, what's best off is people go and watch that documentary when it's out, because it's not out in too long. It's out in April, so we won't delve into too much about your past then. However much it would be good, but people can hit up the documentary when it's out. I think it's better if they watch that. When was your last prison stretch? Because that's when your fitness journey started, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So because
I
I played basketball from young, hop gates, manhunt, all type of different sports, football from I was young. So calisthenics was always a part of the life, but not at this magnitude. Oh, drop and give me 10 push-ups. Okay. You know, you were always able to do a pull-up. I was always slim and skinny. So my last bid was about 46 months. Unfortunately, at the time, this was the only, I believe, 2 or 3 months, if that, max, that I was ever off of parole since I was 15 to now. And I decided to go to a gun range with my wife to celebrate. It was Yomul Eid, and I got arrested for it. I did 46 months in the feds for that. That was my last bid. I didn't know I couldn't go, even though I wasn't on parole. You know, I had no ties, no more. I finally got off, and it was like a celebration of finally being off. I was over 30 years old at the time, right? So when I did that, my last 2 years, about a year, I started to really get into this calisthenics and the cardio. And when I came home, I tried to become like a merchant. I always wanted to work for myself and go to South Carolina. Parole denied my transfer. Then hence I ended up staying in New York City. Didn't have any job, didn't have nothing to do. At the time, was looking for work, couldn't find work, living with my moms, and boom, I just started. I found this first calisthenics team. Then I found out that they got, you know, groups and teams. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own. And from there was 2018, September. That's when I came home. And I'm 2 years, 2 years in now, 3 years, about to be. Alhamdulillah. So that's my
Yeah, good progress in just 3 years to build up around like that, mashallah. And even that story before about how you got into that last stretch of prison when you was in, at no fault of your own. It wasn't even something you did, and then they just took you in, which for a few years as well.
Yeah.
I guess to say there's a silver lining behind everything, and goodness always comes out of it in the end. So even for now, to come out like this, you never know where you would have been if them 3 years, what the success it can bring you now, inshallah. So calisthenics, so what is Rip Right? That's what I wanted to discuss. What is actually Rip Right? That was a question I had in my mind as well.
Okay, so for me, you know, Rip Right was basically a workout car, or what we say a car in prison. Usually in prison, you have different like cars. You have the New York car, you might have the Jamaican car, you got the Muslim car, and then you got the Boston. It's different because the feds is the whole, it would be like the whole England. So everywhere you probably, if you was in the feds and it was an England fed, you would have Manchester, you would have the Birmingham people, you know, everybody would be separated like that with cities and states and stuff. So that's how it was in the feds. And different cars. And you had like within those cars, people from different cities. There was one that basically was Rip Right. It was like just a workout program, you know, that was created within the feds by one guy that had about 90 something years. So from being in the feds and being around that, I brought it to the streets, because a lot of people, they start stuff, they do things in prison, and they come home and they don't take full advantage. So I said, you know, once I got stuck here, I needed a outlet, and I was working out, and I said, yo, you know what? This Rip Right thing is gonna, you know, it's in my video. I said it's a mindset, a methodology on how you do things in life. It's more than a workout program. You know, I keep telling people that it's the way you think, the way you move, you know, and that's what's Rip Right in my book. You know, it's not above Islam, it's not above my religion, but it's going 110% in everything you do.
So instead of, so the team that you have, rather than just teaching about fitness, I guess it brings everything else. It's like a mindset. So it's like a lifestyle rather than just solely focusing on fitness, doing 20 push-ups, 30 push-ups. It sort of brings a change in mindset for them. Is it youth you have more than anything, or is it just general?
We have a Rip Right community where everybody can join. Okay. And I got 500-600 people in that community, and I shoot out a text every day for 6 days a week on where the workouts is going to be and what time. But then we have the people that are not just in the Rip Right community, but are a part of Rip Right, meaning they're a part of that team. And mostly are the youth. We got 21, we got 15, 16-year-olds. Mostly the younger guys are really becoming, you know, attracted and inclined. But as far as the community, I can't even say the ratio between age. We have a lot of people 40, 50 that's in the community.
Wow. So how it works is you shoot out this text to them 600 people where your workout's going to be, and they can then come and join into this workout.
Yeah, everything is free. I do everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a great asset to have, especially for that community. It's not every day you get something for free, firstly, and secondly, especially a fitness program. Usually you're going to be paying the big bucks for not even a one-on-one session. Even if it was a class session, you're paying something for it.
See, the good thing is that I can have up to 2,500 people in that group. It's a particular community app that I pay for and I go through. But a lot of the people that's in the community, they're not just from my neighborhood or from my area. Some are from different states. We're talking about you in Birmingham and this person is in London, you know? So now I shoot out the workouts as well. Well, we'll be doing this today, you know? And today, as a matter of fact, before I started this meeting, we had a guy drive 6 hours in a blizzard. It's snowing like crazy. And he came all the way down here. He's only about 17. He drove.
Wow. For a workout.
Wow. Yeah. So it was amazing. It was amazing.
He's trying to catch some dreams, but I saw it's snowing quite bad where you are. I saw you shoveling the snow away the other day.
Yeah.
Anything for a workout.
Anything, you know, gotta show the dedication.
Yeah, you do. Okay. So what is the importance of fitness? So for yourself, even from personal experience, let's just, because I guess from personal experience, you can show the importance about how it shaped your life. Yeah.
So fitness is important in every aspect, actually, in my life. And I say that because religion first, you know, whether it's protecting yourself, protecting your mother, protecting your father, protecting your family, your household, praying, fasting. And we mentioned this on the Sunnah spot. Like, you have to be healthy to do acts of worship, from the top acts of worship almost to the bottom, you know, other than dhikr and moving your tongue and certain things like that. So a lot of it takes physical health and physical fitness. So I believe it's super important, especially for a Muslim.
I think that's why it's better to sort of start young, because the younger you start, or even, I guess there's no age. Again, age was going to be a different conversation, but I guess there's no age. But if you're going to start thinking about maintaining your health for a long period of times for that purpose, for the purpose of praying and for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fulfilling your obligations as a Muslim, then I guess it's from starting from young. And I think if you think of it as an amana as well, that you've been given this body, you have to look after it, you have to nurture it, you have to like feed it properly, feed it well, healthy foods, then you are going to maintain it for the sake of Allah.
And also to balance off of certain bad habits we have. Even in Islam, when you're studying, you're gaining what? You're gaining a good knowledge. But then you might have a bad habit of watching a particular thing on TV, whether it's a cartoon or something that's not going to benefit you. It might take up space in your head. You have to balance certain things with good things. If you eat you eat a burger, something that's not really healthy, then how you balance it off? You drink some, you drink a good amount of water, sea moss, and you also work out. So we have bad habits. So, we have to balance that off with that which is good,
What is a balance? So let's say when you're talking about a balance, when it comes to fitness, what's a balance?
And see, right now, I believe balance is making sure you're healthy. So some people say I'm extreme, but then when I look at other people, I say, man, he's extreme. You understand what I'm saying? So to me, balance in reality is making sure that whatever you're doing doesn't consume your entire life to the point where you don't have no time for anything else. If you're missing a salat, if you're not reciting the Quran, if you're not making dhikr, if you can't take your mother over here, if you can't fulfill certain obligations because you're so in deep with a particular thing, then I think that's not balance. I think balance is being able to work out, spend time with your wife, your family, your kids, also do your job, whatever that job is, whether you're an entrepreneur or whatever. Just the having, sometimes in 1 week, one thing might get a little bit more of your time because it ain't gonna probably be perfect balance, but that as close as you can get, in my book, that's balance.
I think with this, you can either be from one extreme to the other as well. You're not going to go at all. Like, you're not going to know what gym is, or you're not going to be involved in the fitness game, or you're not going to be motivated to get involved, or you go to the other extreme end as well, where it does end up consuming your life. Because when it comes to fitness and the changes that you're going to see within your own self, your body, even your mindset, your mental health, even all of this, you can sort of become addicted to the feeling of achieving goals and seeing your body changes and these little releases of endorphins, and it's all feel good factors as well. So can you go to the other extreme as well and develop like these addicted feelings, and because surely it can't be too good.
Oh yeah, it's serious. You definitely feel good. I think one of the next ways that me in particular I balance is my religion, Islam, because Islam requires a lot from an individual. And when I say a lot, I don't mean in a bad way, but I mean like you have obligations. The bare minimum is gonna take your time, which is great time. You understand what I'm saying? So when it comes to Islam, fitness and everything, if you know that you're working out not just because it's a living, not just because you want to motivate, but also because you want to worship Allah Ta'ala, then also that workout becomes worship. So you can balance it out that way. But being addicted is definitely easy, especially if you was a person that had a crazy transformation. I mean, if you went from 300 pounds to abs, sometimes that can really affect a person. But once you know why you were created and what you were here for, and one of the things I use fitness for is for means of livelihood, because I tell a lot of people, I want to buy my way into Jannah, and they be like, what you mean? I'm like, fitness is $1 billion industry. If I make 1% of that, then you can have a Hadith Disciple Madrasa, because I'm also attached to Hadith Disciple. That's why it's Rip Right HD. And if you buy something, a building, and you invest in that, and you have, let's say if it's just 10 people who memorize Quran a year come out of your facility, on your scales of good, so
it's ongoing, because that Sadaqah Jariyah is there forever, isn't it?
So one of my main reasons and push people don't really understand, and they don't know because I don't speak about it much, but it's to have a split gym that our sisters can also work out and feel free and be motivated, because it's hard for our sisters having kids, gaining weight. They, the husbands are not pleased with their bodies no more. It's a lot of fitna coming with all of that. They can't ungarb in a gym. They can't go to a gym. They can't do this. So I want to have a split gym as well as a madrasa where we could have Hufaz come from that. And inshallah ta'ala, it could be, like you said, Sadaqah Jariyah. So one of the big things that's pushing me so hard with this fitness is that, alhamdulillah. We got, you familiar with Amir? Alhamdulillah, loon to Amir. He just,
I know him,
yeah. So he's a part now. So we're going to be partners.
Okay, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. So that's going to be a great push. He's going to have partnership into Rip Right. So Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, no, that'd be really good. We have that similar in UK. Well, I say UK as an overall, but in Manchester, where I'm from, we have a facility here, which the local masjid bought it actually. And in front of them, it's just quite a big masjid, but in front of there was a building, an old factory. And what they've done within that is they've created a gym. But also they've made, it's like a youth, so they do karate in there, they do like jiu-jitsu, martial arts, they've got trainees, and they've got a separate gym there as well. But on the other side, they've got Arabic lessons going on at the same time. It's quite interesting to see actually. You walk into this building, there's everything going on. You've got some people training on the mats, and you've got someone learning Arabic there, you've got someone learning Quran behind you, and they managed to incorporate it all quite well actually. Obviously, similar reasons to you. I think they realised that there was a niche missing for the youth out there. They did it more for the youth, get them off the streets and bring them into the gyms and nurture their skills and whatnot. But also for the women, it was interesting you mentioned that, because you're right. So like there's a lot of fitna going on out there, but when the men come home to the women and they're not happy with the way they look, but also I feel like the men themselves, they're not happy, but then they don't provide an alternative for the woman to then give them a gym at home or give them this or give them that. So I think it's very important. Something needs to be made. Like yourself, even in your community, let's say, and you want to open this women's only facility, alhamdulillah, even that in itself, it'll be a massive blessing for certain people out there.
Without a doubt. We just waiting. Inshallah, we looking, if Allah wills, at the end of this year, we should be, inshallah.
Yeah, no, inshallah. What's your plans with that? Are you going to go through, how are you planning on, are you just doing it all self-funded? Are you going to go through charities?
No,
or?
That's why now, as I said, the brother Amir, he's dealing with the logistics of
big
that.
sponsors coming through, inshallah. That's all I'm hearing.
Hear me now?
Yeah, no, I was saying that's all I'm hearing. I'm hearing there's big sponsorships coming through.
Yeah, so that's what he's dealing with, all the logistics when it comes to that. So we're gonna try to make this thing really, really happen. And we got some good sisters that work out, and alhamdulillah, my wife, she also works out, so we plan on getting her in there and have an instructor. So
yeah, no, it's so important, especially at the moment. We just finished, we was at the back end of 2 weeks ago, end of January actually, we finished a mental health campaign. We did it for about 2 weeks, and every person mentioned the importance of working out, especially during, in the UK, we're quite bad at the moment with the corona going on. We're in lockdown still. And especially our target, obviously our audience is university students, so we have a lot going on. We have exams, but we're also stuck inside. There's lockdown, so the importance of training at home, I wanted to touch up a little bit on it. More so it was because a lot of sisters mentioned it, that they train at home and they do the home workouts and stuff. What is the best way of incorporating like a home workout into your sort of daily routine, in a sense? Or should it be daily? Should it be weekly? What's the way to go about that?
Yeah, so me personally, I work out about 6 times a week. Sometimes it's 4, no less than 4. So I may take 3 days off, depending on how my body feels. So I believe that if you're working out at home, or if you're working out in general at the gyms or whatever you're doing, it should be something that you do daily. And you don't need a lot of time. Some people think you need a whole lot of time. I have 10-minute workouts, 20-minute workouts, 30-minute workouts that are very, very effective. So as far as a female or a male being home working out, you really don't need equipment, depending on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to lose weight, shred, and get some tone, you can do all of that in 20 minutes, 20 minutes a day, literally, and eating less, and you will see wonders. So that's something that you should be doing at home daily. You don't need that big of a space. I know sometimes in rooms, different people, different houses, not too much space. So you don't need a big space. You maybe need a mat if you need it. But other than that, you can really get it done with little to nothing.
What's the best the practical steps then to take? What exercises can them, even if you just mention 4 or 5, I'm sure within 20 minutes you can, if 20-minute workout, 4 to 5 exercise, even less than that will be more than enough or sufficient. So what are a couple of home sort of fitness routines that anybody, a standard person, male or female, can incorporate for the reasons you just said, for maybe trimming down, even just for the sake of doing something, getting a sweat on?
So the best workout for me when it comes to trimming and burning fat are burpees, hands down. It's something we did a lot in prison. It keeps your cardiovascular endurance up, and anybody I believe can do it. I've seen people 300 pounds do burpees. You have to also remember with every single exercise, there's modifications. So with a burpee, you don't have to do a push-up. You don't have to go all the way down. You don't have to jump up when you get up. So me personally, the first workout that I would give somebody that's trying to lose weight is burpees. And I would give them, depending on their level, 5 to 10 burpees. I would have them do that every minute on a minute for 10 minutes, and then rest about 2 minutes, and then do it again every minute on a minute for 10 minutes. So you start a timer, right? They say we put the timer at 10 minutes and 10 seconds. When that timer gets down to 10, then you do whatever the number is, 5 burpees or 10 burpees or 6 burpees. The faster you do it is the longer you get to rest. So now once the timer start going down, if you finished at 9:30, 29, 28, once it gets to 9 minutes, you have to do that same number again. So you do that every minute on a minute until you get to that last minute, you rest, and then repeat it. So that's one of the best. You don't have to get into push-ups. You don't have to get into pull-ups. You don't have to get into dips. You don't have to get into squats. I'm just saying, if you really want to shred, do that on an empty stomach and eat, less than 2,500 calories a day, and you're gonna lose weight as a male.
Sounds tough, but that's a good incentive workout, because the quicker you do it, the longer rest you're going to get as well.
Exactly. And
what's the best? Sorry.
Go ahead.
What's the best time of the day to work out then? If you're saying on an empty stomach, is it morning?
Yeah, some people say it's morning is the best time to work out, but for me personally, it doesn't matter, because the only reason I say it's good to do this workout on an empty stomach is for if you're trying to really, really burn fat. Because what happens is once you eat at night and then you go to sleep, your body uses that food as fuel. So by the time you get up in the morning, you're actually 9 or 10 hours of sleeping, 8 hours, you're fasted. So when you get up, you don't have any food in your stomach for the most part. So when you go to work out, your body is going to look for energy, and it can't find the energy within food you just ate because there's no food. So it's going to take away from your stored away fat. So if you eat before the workout, then your body is going to use that food you just ate as energy. But if you don't eat, it's going to automatically tap into the stored away fat. So one of the best ways to get at the stored away fat from the on start of an exercise is not eating.
It's funny you say about getting hungry. One of a family member of mine, an uncle, he's like 40, early 40s, and his first time in his life he started working out. He's got a personal trainer, and I asked him how it's going, and he said the only thing I found is that before I go to sleep now, I'm hungry. I'm really hungry. And I said, it's just all about, it's the working out that you do. And he's not doing much. He had one teaser session, which all he did was, like you said, he did a couple of press ups, he did a couple of push ups, squats, it's just a teaser. And he said, I was really hungry when I went to bed.
Yeah.
He said it's just a working out.
So to me, it's no particular time, which is
any time of the day. I guess it comes to trial and error. Different people's bodies tell them different things, and it's a matter of working it out. Especially now we're at home, while we're in lockdown, there's no obligation to get up and walk away to go to the gym, so you can just test it in the day whenever I guess it suits the person themselves. How much does diet play a part in this? I know that when I've been to the gym, that a couple of people say that whether it's a myth or not, but 2/3 of it is diet and 1/3 of it is just going to the gym itself for the fitness side.
I would agree. Maybe like an 80-20. It's no less than that, because even with a fast metabolism, you can possibly get away with it, but how you're gonna feel, you're not gonna feel good if you're just eating whatever you want. But also for endomorph or mesomorph, meaning somebody who's naturally heavy set, hard to lose weight, or somebody who's naturally muscular and it's easy for them to kind of gain muscle. With people like that, once you start overeating and eating whatever you want, that muscle is going to turn into fat, you know, no matter how much you're working out, because you're overeating on the calories. So without a doubt, I've seen people that's been working out for years and their body hasn't changed. And you're like, he works out with me, and when I work out with him, sometimes he outworks me. And you're like, but it's strange, you know, he's not losing weight. Why is it? And then you ask him, like, and then you find out, yeah, you know, I'll be eating this, that, and this, and then you like, oh, then that sums it up. You know, that's how important diet is.
You can't out-train a bad diet.
No.
So what's your diet like then on a daily basis? Average day, what would you consume, or what would you sort of, let's say today even?
Okay, so today I haven't. I just had a regular fish sandwich since I've been in from working out. I had cashews, dates, and usually I eat tamarind. It helps you like use the bathroom. But my diet isn't the best because of the fact that I do all my workouts for the most part fasted. And when I get in after being fasted, I'm not hungry usually. So I've used all of this energy. Then I come home and I'm constantly working. I'm doing this. Time to pray. So I forget to eat sometimes. It's that bad where I don't get the proper amount of nutrition. And that's one of the reasons why it's easier for me to stay slim. You know, it's like when Ramadan comes around, it's like, oh, alhamdulillah, this is, you know, it's perfect. One set meal a day, you know. So usually that's how I eat, is either 1 to 2 meals a day, you know. So and I pretty much eat a lot of home cooked. And like I said, my family's Jamaican, so I do a lot of the chicken, a lot of the rice, a lot of carbs, because I burn a lot of energy during the day. So I'm one of those guys that when I'm working out, I'm burning so much energy because I'm constantly doing cardio, constantly moving. So I can afford to load up on carbs when I do, you know, eat 2 meals a day.
I think that's interesting itself, because even then you've identified that because you burn so much throughout your day and you don't eat, or you don't get time to eat that many, so then even the meals that you do have, you have to take advantage of them. So like I said, filling up on the carbs and getting your energy from somewhere, and at least getting you either staying in a calorie surplus or not deficit too much where you're losing so much.
Exactly.
Before you just mentioned Ramadan, before we get into that, actually, I just wanted to ask one more question about this. How much does genetics play a part within your own? Let's say somebody has a goal. Is it achievable for everybody to achieve that same goal, or will genetics play a big part in that?
Genetics definitely play a big part. Some people won't, like, if you really look at different body types, ectomorph, endomorph, mesomorph, naturally skinny, naturally muscular, and the one who is naturally like heavy set. So if you're looking like, oh, I want that Bruce Lee type body, but you're endomorph, a guy that's naturally heavy, you might not get that same slim shred look. So definitely genetics play a part, but you can actually get shredded, but you'll be more of a bulkier type of shredded guy, you know, because of your shoulders or because of the way your back, you know, your back is and things like that. So genetics definitely play a part. Some people I've actually seen that they don't work out, and at least they don't work out as much as other people, and they look awesome. So yeah, it definitely plays a role. Some people don't work out for a long time. You see the change, and as soon as they start working out for 2 weeks, bang, then you got other guy, he's been working out for a year, but it's taking him longer, you know, and he's doing the exact same thing. So genetics definitely play a major role.
I guess that leads on to sort of like managing expectations as well.
Yeah, definitely.
With your own body, looking at somebody else, sometimes it might not be achievable for the sake of just the way your body's shaped, and you won't get there. So even managing expectations into what you want to achieve, it's sort of, you have to keep on top of that and not go for unrealistic targets, I guess, as well.
Yes.
So Ramadan, we're gonna come around to it. It's not too far away. I mean, when we're filming this, all right, it's 18th of February, but it's what is that? What does that make it? 2 months away? It's sort of yeah,
Yep.
exactly 2 months away.
Yep. 2 months.
Yeah, so there's no time to start preparing. You should always be preparing for Ramadan anyway. It's the 1 month we get, and we don't. People don't concentrate too much on fitness. We know there's a different purpose for Ramadan. It's not solely based upon this. But do we have to nurture our bodies for Ramadan, would you say? Like, so the build up to it, because your diet is totally off the mark the way what you used to. 1 meal a day, and it's quite a heavy meal, or 2 meals a day for some people. Do we nurture our bodies in terms of that, for that, to ease us?
Yeah, definitely. If you look at the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and all companions, you had some of them that would fast, the fast of Dawood, fast Mondays and Thursdays, 3 times out the month, which is called the white days. So definitely, for some, Ramadan is easy, and for others, it's a hardship. You have some, the first 5 days, they go through headaches, they go through pains, and then after that, they're fine. And you have some longer, shorter, and then you have some that go through Ramadan, and when it's over, they wish it was still going. When Eid come, they don't want to break the fast. So it's definitely something that you need to nurture the body for coming into Ramadan, not being used to just eating stuff in your face, or just because you hungry, like, yo, I'm hungry, and then you go through every avenue just to stuff your face when you got other priorities to do. You have something really important to do, but you hungry, but it's not going to take your focus away, but you allow it to. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, with me, if I do get hungry and I'm doing something that's very important, I don't just stop what I'm doing. I get the job done, unless it's like the Prophet ﷺ allowed you to eat before the salah so that you can be a little more focused. But if it's not the prayer, I don't think it's that serious. Some people, food for me is like overrated, and people take it to a whole nother level. They want to, eat the finest and every night, and it's not really a big deal. So when you start to nurture your body and start to realize you really don't need that much food to live and to survive and to gain, then Ramadan becomes easy.
I guess it comes down to discipline as well. But even linking to what we said initially about shaping our bodies, or being healthy for the sake of Allah, or being healthy for the sake of fulfilling our obligations, the healthier you are, even in the build up to Ramadan or before, the easier your fasts are going to be. Logically speaking, it might not work out like different people, but logically speaking, the healthier you are, then you're going to be less fatigued throughout the day. These headaches might not occur. Your muscles will be more relaxed. They won't be as tense initially, or your body may react even quicker to your fast. So then you can fulfill your fast even easier. I guess there's blessings within the struggle itself of fasting, but that doesn't mean you starve yourself throughout the thing and you make it harder for yourself for the sake of blessing. It's a matter of the struggle in a different sense, I guess. How does it work out do you work out in Ramadan then?
Yeah, I actually have videos about that, and videos while working out during Ramadan. And it's you get used to it. As you said, you have to nurture your body for Ramadan. Waking up every morning, not eating, and going out to work out. I'm preparing myself unconsciously. And the only reason that I used to work out fasted, and I still do now, is not for a matter of the fact that, it's benefit and it can. I started it at first because when I worked out on a full stomach, I used to always get nauseous a little bit, and it's like, I can't really work out. I can't play basketball. My stomach is full. It leaves me sluggish. I didn't like the feeling. So I started to just work out fasted. Even if I ate 2 hours, if I ate too much before workout, so it became very, very easy.
So for you, I guess you work out fasted anyway. So now during Ramadan, you're fasting regardless.
Exactly.
What's it like over there in where you are? So in terms of the weather, because you train outside, like from what I've seen. So how do you cope with the water, like the thirst or the dehydration?
You
'Cause is it
know,
hot? Is it hot in Ramadan where you are?
yeah,
Will it
yeah.
get hot, build
This
up?
one is not going to be too hot because it's going to be in April.
Mm.
So, but at one time, I've got videos where it was hot. It was hot. So, uh, even just making wudu is a relief. Being able to gargle and the mud madawa instant shock. Just that is enough. Putting the water on your face and spitting it out. That's definitely gonna suffice, inshallah.
And the
You
cold
know,
showers as well.
yeah. So really, that's it. That's it. If I take a gargle and spit, I'm good. I'm
Mhm.
good.
All right, so you train, and what about the diet then? That was going to be the next question. So you obviously we only eat 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day. Is there anything you specifically eat to maintain what you sort of have built, or is it just what you would usually eat anyway?
Yeah, what I usually eat, and so usually whatever they have eat at the masjid, things like that. So come home, it's the same thing: rice and peas, stewed chicken, curry goat. The same thing. I get a nice sized meal, and I'll call it a day. Wake up. Sometimes can't eat sahur. Drink a nice glass of water. Eat a date or two, and I'm ready to go.
Mm. It's amazing how you actually maintain it. I mean, I've never seen you before and after Ramadan, but I'm guessing your body must change, or are you quite stagnant in the way your body is at the moment?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I guess because, like I said, I've been doing this fasted, and I know I'm not getting a really great amount of calories outside of Ramadan. So I guess it kind of like balances out. I'm only 141 pounds. The lightest I've been is 137 I've seen during a Ramadan, and that's it. I
Yeah,
never,
so you sort of fluctuate around the same. There's neither up nor down.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's,
alhamdulillah.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
I'm
that's
good.
good. Someone might be listening to this and thinking that obviously the main focus of Ramadan is not about fitness, but I feel like you can achieve both. You can
Oh,
do
you
both. Like if you
can,
want to maintain, I guess if you want to class that as within a worship in itself, that you want to maintain your body, you want to ease your fasts, you want to make it easy for yourself, and you want to continue to go to work and have that energy, then I think you can do both. It's not about going from one extreme to the other, because even going cold turkey, stop training altogether during Ramadan, even that can have a detrimental effect on your fasting. Then even on your routine, it's routine's messed up as it is. But if you can sort of keep one thing which is yours, like the training time that you used to train, I think even that will help mindset more than anything. It's quite
no,
important.
without a doubt, routine is important.
Yeah. What? So somebody just to round it up, then somebody could be listening to this and thinking, "How do I start? How do I sort of begin my fitness journey?" It might not be a fitness journey. It might just be, how do I sort of get myself? I've never done anything before. I've never done a burpee before. Let's say, what's the first step I need to take?
Well, then I'll say subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that's not a gimmick. Go to my playlist, and on playlist you're gonna see something called tutorials, and I have from beginner all the way to advanced, and you would understand that a burpee, a push-up, a pull-up, a dip, a squat, there's all modifications to any exercise that you think. There's a way to do it for a person that never done it and can't even really hold his own body weight. So when it comes to push-ups, don't be afraid to do a push-up on your knee. They call it girl push-ups. No, it's modified push-ups. And till this day at 36, I still do modified push-ups on my knees. I have a routine in which I incorporate that, and it will break the average man down. And when I do it with my team, they be screaming, so don't think that it doesn't work. If you have to start on a wall, incline push-ups, you have to start from somewhere. So don't think that I'm gonna never get to this stage. You know, it takes time. It takes some effort. And if you start a little by little, that's like learning what 2-3 ayats of Quran a day. Eventually you're gonna have a juz, and then you're gonna have 2 juz. It's called compound effect. Eventually it's just gonna add up and build up and add up.
Yeah. Okay, good. What's your YouTube channel?
Rip Right HD, all one word.
Rip Right HD. So yeah, if anybody's listening, I mean, personally, I'll be honest, I've not had a look. I've had a look through the whole of the Instagram. I've seen the videos, but I will probably check that out myself. Actually, Ramadan's coming soon. We need to get them home workouts in. And the good thing about yours actually is it's calisthenic workouts, so anything can be done at home with no equipment as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. I think that's everything from me. That's all I wanted to talk about. I think we've discussed from start to finish from your journey. Again, we said I didn't want to touch too much on your journey. Your documentary is coming out in April. Do you want to plug that actually? Where can they find that?
So that's not the documentary. That's the pilot to my documentary.
Okay.
In April, and then after that, before the year is out, around September or so, we should have the full doc out. It's going to be an hour, and I haven't figured it out yet. We trying to pitch it to a couple of different networks, so we'll definitely keep you guys updated.
Yeah, no, definitely keep us updated. I'm sure we can share that around as well. There was a brother actually who I was going to speak to in a coming podcast. I won't mention his name yet because I've not spoke to him yet, but he's got a book. He's got a similar story to yours. When you was telling yours, all I could think about was his story as well, because I've spoke to him, and he's written a book actually, and his book is called "With Hardship Comes Ease." And he's going to speak. It's a really, really interesting story. And so take that up as well. I mean, I don't know how much of a writer you are, but hey, there's another format there for you to take from a documentary, for the readers as well. But BarakAllahu feek, it was a very interesting conversation. I think when it comes to fitness and stuff like that, people not always that interested, but there's a niche out there for it, and it's a need as well. Especially with the build up to Ramadan, I think it's quite important that people take it seriously, their health, their mental well-being, and the fitness side of things as well. And before we end, if anybody wants to check out Brother Shuaib's Instagram page, it's Rip Right HD, and there's also, he's got a shop on there as well, which he's selling merch at the moment. I'm not sure, I said at the beginning you sold out. Have you sold out?
Yeah, I sold out on my sweatsuits and stuff like that, but we're always coming with new stuff daily. Yeah, so
I actually wanted to ask, what is that band that you use? What is this? What is it?
It's basically 2 sticks and rubber bands, really. Some people, like, they make fun of it, and then when they try it, they wish they never made fun of it. So it's basically a workout equipment that really focuses on your shoulders, especially people with bad shoulders. It rehabs your shoulders, and if you don't have bad shoulders, then it can also build your shoulders up. It deals with your secondary muscles, because if you notice, when you're doing particular workouts, you need your primary muscles to get these workouts done. So this activates and builds the secondary muscles. That way you don't get injured using all of your primary muscles. You have the secondary muscles to assist them. So you can hit basically everything in the upper body, whether it's your finger flexors, your wrist flexors, forearms, triceps, biceps, rear delts, medial, front delts, your back, your traps, your abs. I mean, it's amazing. We got so many testimonies. I'm talking about, we sold over $100,000 since April in that equipment. Alhamdulillah.
Oh, alhamdulillah. Now I was so interested. I was thinking about it. I forgot to write it down in my points that I wanted to touch on, because I actually didn't know what it was, but I saw the brothers using it when they were pulling it down and they were stretching it behind the head, and it looks it looks interesting. It's another form of equipment.
Yeah.
Before we finish, actually, I never asked you if I could do this, or it's something I wanted to do. I'm not sure if you know Freshly Grounded. It's another podcast channel. They've got a game out. It's called the Freshly Grounded game, and what it is, it's about getting to know the speakers. So I've not done it with the previous speakers, but I wanted to introduce it. And all it is basically it's a series of questions which you ask to get to know somebody. I only going to ask 1 or 2, but the personal questions basically about maybe yourself. If you're game for it, you can skip the question and it can move on to a different one. If you don't want to do it, that's fine as well.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm with
Okay.
it. I'm
It's
familiar with
good. It's interesting. It's an interesting. Basically, what the game is about is to get you and the person. It's a family game as well. So it's to get you and your family communicating, and you or that person that you're talking about to get to know each other better, or to answer each other honestly. So it's like a conversation game, basically. But obviously, we don't know each other. We don't know our past. So I'll ask the questions, which are basically just a little bit personal, rather than us getting to know each other. So the first one was, tell me something about your mother that you didn't appreciate until you became older.
That's
It's a deep question, isn't it?
yeah, it's a deep one.
Question,
Wow.
it is.
Really, it's so much, man, that I didn't appreciate from my mother till I got older. I mean, the fact of her forcing me to clean, you know, like being cleansed, you know, as a youth, that's definitely one of them. Like she's big on that. And I definitely appreciated it when I got older because you see how important it is, especially like when I was in prison and being in a small cell and keeping things organized and cleansy. But that's a deep question. I would have to, I would give you a laundry list on that.
That's a podcast in itself, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's a laundry stuff that I did from my mother, you know, especially now that I'm older and I'm a Muslim.
Yeah.
That's been,
it's double, I guess, like the the list, or every day you change. So even there's some things that you will experience maybe later on in your life, which you think, wow, my mum told me that 20 years ago, but I didn't listen then, and now I'm thinking about it now.
You gotta clean your room before you go out. You gotta clean this.
And it's just the little things as well, isn't it? It's not even the major things in your life. It's the little things which you pick up on a daily basis. Like, wow, she told me that, and I should have listened back then, subhanAllah. And now I'm telling my kids about it. That's what you'd say.
Yeah, wash your hands before you eat.
Yeah.
Now it's regular stuff.
Okay, next question. What was a point in your life when you started believing in yourself?
Oh, that's, I would say 2005 or 6, you know, being in prison, accepting Islam, and you know, they was pushing me to like give a khutbah, and I didn't think I could do it. And alhamdulillah, it worked out. It worked out, you know. It worked out. So that's when I really started believing that, you know, I could achieve if I wanted to, you know. If I really buckled down, I could do it.
Okay, good stuff. Tell me an Islamic reminder you once heard that has stayed with you to this day.
Definitely is al-maru ala dini khalili falyanzuru ahada man yukhalilu. You will be on a religion of your companion. So be, you know, careful who you choose as a close companion. And that's stuck with me. Like, and you see it now, you know, they say if you're around 9 millionaires, you'll be the 10th one. You know, so I use it with everything. If you're around 10 knuckleheads, I mean 9 knuckleheads, you're gonna be the 10th one, you know. So I try to surround myself, even if it's non-Muslims, because I have a lot of non-Muslims on my team, but I need people that's gonna be, you know, respected. Respectful. Or I have to pray. I can't do how many 50 push-ups? All right, and it's no issues. I don't need people around me that's gonna draw me down, you know. So that's one of the best advices.
Okay, inshallah. And this one is a little bit different. Again, like I said at the beginning, we don't know each other. So the way you can answer it, the question itself is, if you could give me a piece of advice on anything, what would it be? I guess because you don't know me, it's going to be shaped differently, but you're my elder. I guess I'm only 22 years old. So then you've got a lot more experience ahead of that I've got yet to come, inshallah. So what's one piece of advice you would give, even to someone of my age?
Oh, man. I would tell you, man, to definitely, in my opinion, I want everybody to be an entrepreneur, which is not possible, because if everybody was an entrepreneur, you wouldn't have workers, you know. But if you're not yet an entrepreneur, or if you've been thinking about it, I try to tell everybody that's around me, I give them the advice, especially the ones that's young, is to, you know, work hard for yourself. You know, don't stop your 9 to 5. You know, use your 9 to 5 and reap the benefits of the money, the perks, the health care, but save, invest, and back into you and what you really want to do and what you want to become as a person, whether it's, you know, becoming a full-time podcaster and getting paid for it. So don't believe that, yo, I'm just doing this just for the fun of it. No, it has to be more to it, because you can't spend 9 hours podcasting, then go work at somebody else's job for 9 hours and then spend no time with your wife. You want to combine your work and what you love to do all in one. So that would be my advice to you at 22. Find something that you love that's going to make you some money as well, and that you can benefit you and your family with.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I don't think you could have answered that better, to be honest. And it's an amazing conversation, because there was a brother called Abu Musa who I had on 3 podcasts ago. And we had a whole podcast based around the youth and entrepreneurship, and why as a Muslim it's better for them to go out and be an entrepreneur than it is to work a 9 to 5. Reaping the benefits of obviously having your own business. You can choose your own timings, you'll be able to fulfill the obligations of a Muslim, you know, it's halal earning, there's no fitna within the workplace. There were so many ideas that we came up with aside from the money aspects of it, that yeah, you summarized it as good as you possibly could have done, to be honest. So barakallahu feek for that. Jazakallah khair. I think we're going to wrap it up there. Jazakallah khair for joining us once again. It's your time. Like I said, there's not many times where we said this off air actually, where we get opportunities to speak with people on the other side of the world, but with Corona and the lockdown, we've had to change our ways, and technology has surpassed us. So alhamdulillah that we've been given this opportunity, firstly, to have you on our channel. So, and secondly, I wanted to plug your Instagram once again. If anyone wants to check it out, Rip Right, please to go and support his page, and also the YouTube channel as well. And if there's anything else you want to plug before we leave.
No, I appreciate everybody for watching when y'all do watch it, and I appreciate you, Ismail, for being on your channel. Jazakallah khair.
BarakAllahu feek. As a last thing, actually, if anybody, you can go check out our website, MMU ISoc. We have a charity set up there. It's a livelihood project which is going to be fundraising for water units or water villages within Pakistan. We have started fundraising. We've got events set out as well, but there is a donate link in there. So if at the moment we've got a head shave going on. So the ex-vice president, his hair is up to here, and he's actually shaving his hair off for charity. I'm not sure if this is going to be released by the time he's shaved it off, but we were currently on £250, and we need to hit 500 for us to shave it off. So please go and donate to that as well. If the link is still there. If not, then the link for the donation page is still in the website, inshallah. But that's everything from me. Jazakallah khair once again for your time and all your efforts. May Allah accept it from you and from us as well, inshallah.
آمين.
جزاك الله خير.
ودي لي سلامي يا رايح للحرم، وادعي لي وسلم لي على هادي الأمم.